Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Black American Male. All right, so if you're new to my channel, I want you to take time now to like and subscribe, and most definitely share this with another band. All right, I got another good one here for you today. This is number 20 in our Acquiring Wisdom series, and you're gonna hear me talk a lot about things that probably pertain with money here if you've been familiar with my channel. And this is because money is talked about a lot in the Bible, and you can tell me whatever you want. If you have an opportunity to show an individual on what you spend your money on, that is where your heart is at. And it just tells a lot about the individual on how they chooses to spend their money. All right, and I want to give people an understanding on what is actually said about money in the Bible. One thing that we hear a lot is, oh, money is the root of all evil. No, it's the love of it. All right, and the passage I have for you today is yet another thing that kind of talks about it, but in a different kind of way. Okay, so I'm be coming from the New Living Translation, all right, the NLT, and this is from the book of Proverbs, and we're gonna start from chapter 20. Okay, the verse that I'm gonna pick today, and it talks about money, or an inheritance, which will require money and other things that's with that. Okay, but that verse is verse 21, all right, and it reads, an inheritance obtained too early in life is not a blessing in the end. All right, an inheritance received too early in life is not a blessing in the end. So how many people have seen these people live in these affluent neighborhoods where they have a lot of disposable income? Their kids are fortunate to be brought into a family where their mother and father are doing well financially for themselves. So say something end up happening to one of the parents, and they just get kind of down in life, and instead of spending time trying to deal with their child, they have things in their life that they're questioning because their spouse are probably not here no more. Something tragic might have happened. So this child gets what they would have gotten from their parents a lot earlier, all right, to kind of get them out of the hill. Okay, well, we see stories and things on Dateline and 2020 and CNN about a young person who has seemingly endless money doing something reckless, and I would probably read this as too early in life, meaning they're not mature enough for it. So you receive an inheritance of whatever. I mean, now I want to make sure I make this clear. An inheritance of $100 is not an inheritance. $1,000. I mean, if we talking about something that will involve life-changing status for an individual, okay? You don't receive an inheritance of something that you can spend up in a day or two. So if a young person receives, something from a death of a loved one, and that's typically mostly how they would get it, all right? And there's no will that has been done. You hadn't set things up properly where this person will not receive it as soon as something tragic happened to you, that they will have to be a certain age, or you put some other stipulations on it to where this individual will have to live on their own for 5 years, without needing money from the inheritance that they would get. Okay, and there are a lot of living wills and trusts that you can set up, if you have that kind of money where you can leave behind, and your child or your children may be irresponsible with, what you will leave behind. But think about this. All of us have, and I'm talking about the people who haven't, been raised up in families where you've been told a lot about money, have messed up a lot of what we have received. Whether you work for it or, your mom and dad gave it to you, or you had, been raised by your grandparents or whoever, auntie or uncle. The money that went through your hands, you probably like, man, if I had that now, when I got a little more sense, it would have turned out a whole lot better for me. But you probably know somebody who not only had the access to a lot of money, that it messed them up when they was young. So you think about when you had stupid on full, all right? You was full of stupid, all right? And you had a lot of money to go with it. Now, how much stupid can you do when you have seemingly endless money? So we can see that the Bible rings true again. I mean, this is something that, maybe somebody I'm talking to right now have experienced or they seen, all right? Somebody received a lot of money way too early. They was not ready for it. They did not have, the maturity level to understand what to do with money. All they thought it was for is to spend it, all right? Which we all spend money, but you leaving out two other things. You should save money, and you should give money. It's not only for spending, and an immature person only see it as in consumption. So, I leave you with this last little tidbit, and to think about when you got a bank account, all right, and you depositing money into your bank account, or you receive an inheritance, okay? If you only are taking from this bank account, right, and you have nothing generating no residuals, you have no residual money coming in, all right? You stuck on stupid, you real young, and you just receive a couple of $1 million from a trust fund, or an inheritance that your parents had tragically, died or something, and you're very young. I'm talking about 18, 19 years old, and they put no stipulations in how old you should be or when you should be receiving this money. They did the bare minimum, and they said, hey, you're gonna have this. Well, if you only take from whatever account that is in, let's say they got a couple of, $1 million in, some stocks, all right? And the things that I like is not just the trust funds, but it's the things that you can put, money into that earns money, the CDs and, obviously, the stock market, but there's money market accounts. There's all kind of things you can put money into to be earning money. But if this young person is only taking from that account, guess what's going to eventually happen? Now, you may have, more money than they need right now, but when you stuck on stupid, you can find many people that come around and help spend that money up. And guess what? I did a video on that. Wealth makes many friends. This is what the Bible says. But when you are broke, when poverty comes, it drives them all away. So right here, if you receive an inheritance too early in life, in the end, it will not be a blessing for that person. So when you're only taking from something, eventually it will be depleted. So then what you will have? A whole bunch of shouldas, couldas, and wouldas. Man, if I woulda, man, if I coulda, man, I shoulda. So if you're in a position where you can have something to leave behind to your children, grandchildren, please consider this. If they are not mature now and something was to happen to you right now, that will ruin them. Okay, so make provisions, especially if you have something to leave. If you have nothing to leave, you know, you won't have nothing to worry about. It, what they're gonna fight about, you know. But if you have something of an inheritance to leave behind to somebody, make sure you make provisions and find out if this person is not immature. All right. So that's all I have for you today. You know, want y'all take time out to like and subscribe, share this with another BAM, and be safe and stay blessed. Until the next one.